What's up, guys, and welcome back to another Odd Popcorn for That review. I'm Chris,
And I'm Nick.
and we just watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. And so we got a review coming up in just a second, but first we want to thank you guys for clicking on this video as always. We really appreciate that. And if you've seen this movie, we'd love to hear from you below. Comment what you thought about it, and if you haven't seen this movie, what's your favorite iteration of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles over the year, whether it's a TV show or a movie or a comic. Uh, And so anyway, what let's get started with the plot. So Nick, what was the plot of this movie?
So basically, it's the brothers set out to win the hearts of New Yorkers and be accepted as normal like teenagers, and they're taking on a mysterious crime syndicate, and they soon get in over their heads as an army of mutants is unleashed upon them.
Yeah, so man, right off the bat, I had a blast with this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I know I'm not the target demographic, and it is more for like a teenage audience, I guess,
Yeah,
but
I
I had a
thought
ton of fun with it.
yeah, I definitely thought they were gonna pull some nostalgia. Like obviously it's nostalgia because it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I was not up to date on some of my lingos and stuff that they were saying.
Yeah, it's very like Gen Z, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, but it was really
Uh,
fun.
and I mean who would have thought that it's like the only twist that no one's done on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles yet is to make them actually teenagers.
Right.
They always seem like full grown adult, especially in like the Michael Bay ones from a couple years back, if you remember
Oh
anything about
yeah.
those. But yeah, they always seem like adults, and in this they very much feel like teenagers, and it helps a lot that the voice cast is teenagers. So I don't know any of these guys really, but I got to shout them out because they did such a good job on this. Micah Abbey was the voice of Donatello. Shimon Brown Jr. was Michelangelo. Nicholas Cantu, who has done some other stuff that I don't think I've seen any of it, but was Leonardo, and Brady Noon was Raphael, and those kids were the standout in this for me. Besides, Ice Cube also is a really great
Yeah.
does some really great voice work as a villain here, but those kids just brought like a bunch of heart into it and made it really relatable, even if you're not a teenager anymore, and just they all have character arcs, and they all fall nicely into their personality types from the original series and movies and stuff. So yeah, I thought those guys did a great job. But the voice cast is crazy long, right?
Yeah, I mean there's tons of people in it. I also like the Io Edebiri who was April O'Neil, which I like. She's
Yeah, I
in The
didn't.
Bear, which is a great show. Um,
Yeah, haven't watched that. Yeah,
Maya Rudolph was very good as like the kind of like one of the main villains.
one of the main villains. Yeah, and everybody is she especially is. Well, I don't know. Everybody is drawn. So like the character design and stuff on
Yeah.
this is crazy. The art direction and all that is nuts. And I think people are gonna want to relate this to Across the Spider Verse and Into the Spider Verse and everything. And I get where it's coming from, but it's really not the same. It's like
No.
this is its own thing.
I liked, yeah, it was really awesome looking and it almost looked like stop motion animation for
Yeah, it was
some
like
of it, but it's
a little bit like stop motion or claymation or something, but mixed with like very hand drawn. Like you can see the drawings and scribbles and sketchiness of all of it too.
mhm.
So I never seen anything like that. That's a really unique take on and the colors really pop too. It's a real
Yeah.
vibrant movie and everything, and it feels very much like it creates its own atmosphere and vibe that you know. Um, but the humans especially are drawn really bizarrely. Like everybody's got a very asymmetrical face,
Yeah, yeah.
and really their whole body, but everybody's really super asymmetrical. But yeah, Maya Rudolph, you can't even name them all. I mean, John Cena, Seth Rogen,
Giancarlo
and
Esposito.
Giancarlo Esposito, Jackie Chan obviously was great as
Mhm.
I should have mentioned that. Jackie Chan was great as Splinter, and Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko is great. Obviously, I
I,
didn't recognize Post Malone being in this.
I
I
couldn't
didn't get
tell
it.
who he was. I had to look it up and he was oh goodness, I can't even think of the name of the thing now. He was the manta ray or
Ray
the stingray.
Fillet,
Ray Fillet, there we
yeah,
go.
I love that there was a manta ray in this. It's like my
Yeah.
favorite animal. And Hannibal Buress is the frog.
Yeah.
And Mr. Beast makes an appearance in this, like a little cameo.
Yeah, I don't know which one he was. I guess he was one of the New York
It's like,
citizens.
yeah.
If I had to guess, maybe he was the one towards the end where who like helped out a little bit.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I bet. But yeah, like I said, the story's got a bunch of heart, and and it's funny when it needs to be. I mean,
Yeah,
I found myself just like unconsciously smiling throughout this whole movie, if not laughing out loud. Um, and other people, like the other people in the theater, laughing out loud through this. A bunch of the jokes land. I mean, I would say 96% of the jokes worked for me.
I agree.
And there's a lot in here. Some of the ones that I don't know, I don't know if you have certain ones that stood out to you that you remember now, but the thing about them saying that I don't remember which turtle it is, but one of them has a head that looks like a mixture between Stewie Griffin and Hey Arnold,
Yeah, yeah, that was a good one.
and there's like a through line joke about milking
Hmm.
that I thought was great. Like he's Splinter's always warning them that humans are going to capture them and hook them up to milking machines, and then
They're
that
like,
kind of comes full circle in the movie and ends up
yeah, I think that was another. I guess it's the same vein of the joke, but it's like well, we don't have nipples, and then they meet
yeah,
April
yeah, yeah,
O'Neil, and she was like, but you don't have nipples.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff here. I wish I could remember more of the specific jokes, but there's a bunch. But you know, uh, and all of the I guess villains, for lack of a better word, really there's like a main villain, and you know, but all the other mutants, I guess I should say, are all just animated in this crazy way, and they all have these interesting, quirky personality types and everything. It's just a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of is there anything negative that stood out to you about this, or anything you felt like held it back for you, or
The
was it
only
mostly
like
positives for
negative
you?
I can think of, and it's not that big of a negative at all, is like when they're just kind of talking all over each other and stuff. But I mean, that's what they would be doing, you know. So
I,
it's
I don't know if I count this as a negative, but for me, uh, it falls a little bit into like a little too formulaic at the end, sorta.
yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
there's a lot of unique stuff going on and twists on things, but it does sort of come down to like a monster battle at the end, and it's wrapped up in a way that's not super unique or anything like that.
hmm
But it didn't really take anything away from me. Like I left that theater feeling like nothing but a positive experience out of that. It just I could see I don't know I don't have a better idea, but I could see them taking it in a little bit of a more unique direction at the very end.
yeah,
But everything leading up to that was so much fun and so unique and everything. I wanted to go see it again. So
right. I would watch it
so
again. I like the action scenes are really good, and it kind of shows their first actual encounter of being the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of like their first little battle that they fight these guys in a garage to help out April. And
yeah, yeah, retrieve the scooter.
yeah, and I think all the action scenes were really good, really fun. And there one in particular I liked a lot was like a montage scene of them beating up these like low-level henchmen to find the big next guy, and it's like
Right.
all done kind of like it kind of starts off in that almost like the hallway scene of Daredevil where he's like fighting through a bunch of people, and then
Mm-hmm.
it kind of like
Mm-hmm.
flashes to the different facilities that they're in fighting people and like different people taking the lead, and it was really done really well, and I like that one part a lot.
And I think both the score and the soundtrack do a
Yeah,
lot for this too.
yeah.
The score is Atticus Ross and oh, I can't believe I'm blanking on the other Atticus Ross and Nine Inch Nails, Trent Reznor.
Oh, okay.
Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor,
That
who
makes sense.
they are in the business of making film scores these days, and they nail it every time. But the thing that stood out the most to me, I mean, I hate to not to ignore the score there, but the soundtrack is so good. It's
Oh yeah.
real 90s hip hop heavy influenced, and a little bit of like a little bit more contemporary hip hop, but for the most part, it's a 90s hip hop soundtrack, and I just thought it played really well with the general vibe of this movie, and accentuated like the action scenes and stuff especially. But and the fact that you got if you got Ice Cube in your movie, I mean, having a 90s hip hop
Yeah.
soundtrack makes a
And
lot of
he
sense.
even had like a couple lines from his songs like
The six in the
in the
morning,
movie. Yeah,
yeah,
and like the big song that they use kind of as the climactic thing, and they use it earlier in the movie too, is like Annie Up by
Annie
MOP,
up
which is one of my favorite rap songs.
for sure, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you got no diggity. I mean, it's it's a lot of it is like
And you got Four
what you
Non
would put
Blondes in
on
there
a,
too.
and they got four non blondes in there. Probably the best use of that song I've ever seen.
Right.
What else are we missing? Anything?
No, I mean,
It was I didn't mention this in the beginning. I usually do. It was directed by Jeff Rowe and Kyler Spears, and it was written and produced by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. So
okay, yeah.
Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, if you don't know, are the guys behind Super
Super
Bad
bad.
and
Uh,
Pineapple Express and This Is the End and The Interview and on and on. That's kind of the main standouts, I guess. Sure.
yeah. Did you get
I don't think I missed anything.
before the movie actually started, like credits roll don't even roll and like it's like Seth Rogen talking to the audience? Did you get that too?
Yeah,
That was a little
apparently that's going to start being a
unexpected.
thing because I got that for Mission Impossible too. So a little thank you for
Oh,
watching this movie in a theater.
I guess I don't remember if I did or not. I'm maybe I did.
Uh, and by the way, I didn't. This is a hard movie to spoil. But I don't want to talk about the post credit scene in this. But I need to ask you about it because I left the movie at right as soon as the credits started,
Hmm.
and there is apparently a very important, or at least a long, semi important post credit scene. So, I'm not going to spoil it here because I don't know what it is and
Okay.
whatever. But just if you're going to go see this in the theater, stick around after the credits and don't be like me.
Right. I'll tell you.
So
I'll
what would
tell
you give
you.
this? What would you give this movie?
Man, dude, I give it like a solid 8.5. I like primarily because I did like Spider Verse a bit more, and I gave
Mm-hmm.
that like a 9. I think 9.5. So, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a very solid movie.
Yeah, I adjusted my score after the fact about it, Across the Spider Verse to a 10.
Okay, yeah,
But I would give this a 9. It is excellent. One of the best movies of the year. It's a really good year for animation right
dude, yeah,
now. I don't know. To me, I mean, some of the best things we've gotten this year anime, and really, recently it's just kind of having like a renaissance moment. And I feel like even if all these movies are sort of maybe they shouldn't all be compared as much as they are to Into the Spider Verse and Across the Spider Verse. That is
yeah,
sort of the thing that kickstarted this whole thing and made people like innovate the way they were doing anime, and it opened a door for people to try out some innovative animation that really didn't have anything to do with Into the Spider Verse or Across the Spider Verse. It's just like, oh, well, we can do that, and people like that, and it makes money. Let's see if this people like this maybe. And I think this was one of those where it's like, let's try something totally nobody's tried, and um, I got to hand it to Nickelodeon for signing on to something like that and taking a chance. So
yeah. And
I think
I
it
mean,
paid
I
off.
haven't seen the numbers of what they've done, but obviously, I'm guessing they're gonna be making quite a bit of money off this movie. It looks like I
I
think
would hope
Rotten.
I would hope that we're far enough out from Oppenheimer and Barbie that some other movies can make some money for a little while.
Yeah, for sure. And like this one's so unique with its art style and everything that it was amazing.
Yeah, highly recommend it. You gotta go out and support this kind of thing if you can. So, but yeah, if you like this video, guys, hit like below. That helps us out a lot. It helps us get seen by some people. And yeah, remember to comment down below about if you've seen this movie or not, and just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in general. And the next video we got coming up is going to be something a little different. We're going to do like a list type video instead of a review. So be on the lookout for that later this week. And thanks as always for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
We'll see ya.